I think maybe we're going to start out this way in our
The
secret identity, so you can't
Yeah,
tell who we are, superhero wise.
we're all Clark Kent.
Could be.
That's how it works, right?
That just ties back. We were talking about Titans backstage, and I just watched the episode where Connor puts the glasses on, and he kind of Dick looks at him like, "I see you, Dad." But
Ah,
I don't know. I don't know how this fools anybody. I mean, even if I had hair,
I think it was the hair. The hair. You had to have that curl.
the curl makes people forget.
Yeah.
I think I think there's a bias. We are expecting to see what we want to see, and I even saw recently Henry Cavill went outside and put on some glasses to prove this point exactly. I don't think where he was. I don't know where he was. Maybe he was in New York, something like that. And he was wearing street clothes, nothing fancy, and his glasses. And no one approached him. Maybe because it's New York and nobody fucking cares. But he kind of
Yeah.
proved.
It's probably the same way with Clark Kent too, in that he's bumbling all over the place, and that how geriatric does he look to every other character, every other person that's in Metropolis? Probably looks the exact same with the suit and tie on, running around. So I don't think many people have gotten like a very close up look at Superman either.
Besides that, no one is expecting to see Superman when they look at Clark Kent.
Yeah, but you know what though? If he works in a place that was reporting the news and sees Superman on the regular, he can't not tie that together.
That's why Lois Lane figured it out.
Oh, she wanted that D either which way.
But she wouldn't believe
She
it.
wanted that S.
All right. Let's
Let's do this.
the intro. Yeah, because it's I'm not used to it yet. So
Then you stop slouching, remove the glasses.
and do the intro like this.
It's a me.
All right, we'll be right back.
How you doing?
Yeah! Happened with these, and I do not know what the grade is yet. So we are going to find out together. Most likely a 9.8, but man, fingers crossed that it hits one of those higher numbers as well. So let's see. You get to see before I do. Let's see. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my God! Yes! Yes!
You about to get plugged, dude.
Now, is it bad that I look at my prior editing and I'm like, I got to do better? I got to do better.
I mean, you can always do better.
I mean, I think it's the people I'm hanging out with too. Damn it, positive influences.
It's fine. Just leave it the way it is. You're perfect, Nick.
I mean, the intro can stay as it is, but then if you edit something new, then you might want to apply some new knowledge or a little bit of like challenge yourself, you know?
Yeah, I'm too old for challenges, Iggy.
Well, don't say that.
It's just a challenge sometimes to get up in the morning. But let's say hello to everybody.
I thought you were saying it's a challenge to get it up.
No, that's not a challenge. I mean, I see this guy. Whoop.
I heard this is a chewable thing for that now.
Yeah.
You're having issues getting it up.
Yeah, we live in a marvelous time.
Link Squad North. Always busting my chops. Dan.
Ooh, he changed his logo, right?
He did. He I think he like 2 or 3 weeks ago he did. Looks good. Looks good. I just
Okay.
watched Johnny Five Alive's unboxing of Promiscuous Time Traveler's mystery box, and I immediately wanted one.
I mean, Kyle is like a box of chocolates. It's full of
That's true.
surprises.
That's true. That's true. But go check out Johnny Five Alive's video. Chaos. We'll be seeing him soon. I have to put him in the chat. The non-active Watchmen chat. Which we have, is it March 5th? March 5th?
March 5th is our first, maybe only, hey, Austin, maybe only Watchmen read and review show. We don't know if we can cover the whole thing in the first video or not. We'll see.
But yeah, lately I've been reading a lot more DC properties. I'm working my way up to Grant Morrison's Animal Man because that may be the favorite of somebody here.
Yeah, it's a great run.
Especially
number, is it 26? Is the most meta issue of the run? I don't remember the number.
I gotta read it. With the DC Universe Infinite app, it makes it so easy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that Canada now has that app because I've been using it as well to go back and read like the first appearance of Animal Man, like Strange Adventures 180. DC Infinite app is pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, and you know what too? I've branched out into reading stuff that I never thought I would read. I'm picking up on Tom King's Omega Men, which is pretty good too. And of course, DC versus Vampires, which I enjoyed. I finished Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which will be translated into a movie.
Yes.
Hopefully a good one. What else have I been reading? Watchmen, of course. Legion of Superheroes. A lot of great stuff. Human Target has been great.
Oh yeah, and the art in Human Target is Greg Smallwood is a killer.
I gotta go read that. That's on my read list on the app. The good thing is you can make lists too of like what you want to read in that. So I love that feature.
I dipped back into reading the new 52 Batman. Yeah, and you know what? And that's where I took off because of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I love that reading, and I picked up a few other of his great issues. There was one Batman annual in particular. I forget the number, but it's about it's kind of like an Elseworlds, but it's if him and Selena got married, and he died of cancer later on in life, and it was really good.
Okay, cheerful.
Yep. Well, no, I mean it was just just to know. And I don't think it leads to the depression in me, but I those stories where I know the beginning, middle, and end have always appealed to me.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, Kyle, we were talking about you.
Just
I had to keep.
And your wonderful mystery box and Mr. Johnny Five Alive's latest video. So, but
speaking of surprises and things that end in cancer, my wife just now, before I started the stream, wanted to see Wakanda Forever on Disney Plus, and she told me, "Hey, what's going on? The movie starts with him and he's sick, and the first movie ended with him on the throne, and I had to tell her that you die." What?
What movie are you talking about?
Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah.
And she just found out that Chadwick Boseman died, and she was horrified, of course.
Now, did she watch the movie, or she didn't watch it yet?
She was just starting to watch it.
Oh, all right.
And I had to tell her because she was shocked that he was sick in the movie. I mean, hey, the dude died, and they had to explain why they didn't have the actor anymore.
Yeah, that definitely adds a whole nother layer to that movie.
Yeah.
And just when you think you're through it, there's that scene at the beach at the end, and then Rihanna comes singing. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. More tears. More tears. But say Levy, we're not here to talk about tearful stuff, no matter what DJ Links wants.
Oh no, we were
Mhm.
talking DC animated, and Kevin Conroy died recently. That's a bummer.
Yeah. The whole rest of the show is going to be a downer. Thanks, Iggy.
Right? Because I mean, we really have to start with Mask of the Phantasm, right?
Definitely, most definitely. That's probably like the first DC animated movie that I watched as a kid.
Was that the true first one?
I want to say that it was. I like the one that I can remember. Like there probably was other ones. Like wasn't there a Sub-Zero animated movie with
Well,
Batman?
you have all those Legion of Superhero cartoons back in the 70s.
Yeah, and the Mr. Freeze movie, I think it was after Mask of the Phantasm, because I think Mask of the Phantasm was the first one they tried to see to test the waters and see how the animated series style uh, and whole thing worked on a movie.
Right?
Yeah, it'd definitely be the first one that I watched. I was like 4 when that came out.
4. Jesus, I was in my. But yeah, I remember they bundled this with a lot of video game systems that came out at the time. So, you kind of wound up watching, but I'm glad I did. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I love that one. And it kind of spawned that whole animation style.
I mean, BTAS, Batman the Animated Series, kind of was a spark for an animation revolution for DC, and they kind of kicked the door and said, "Okay, here we are, and we are going to make this in a new way, and we're going to set the tone for the animated side of DC for the future." And they killed it. And I think, and that's why I put the title for this episode as DC gets animated. It's not because the animated series, the DC universe is animated. It's just because DC, the animation, they get it. They get what they have to do when it comes to animation, when it comes to telling these stories. And I think, and I always hoped that they took the same approach or a similar approach with the live action things, because I mean it's not the same audience, but their animated shows and movies rock.
Great. They are great. And it's going on, this will be year 30 that they've been around.
Wow.
Mask of the Phantasm is in 1993. That Mr. Freeze, Batman Mr. Freeze, 1998. And oddly enough, the third movie was a Gen 13 movie, which I
What?
didn't know existed.
I
And
definitely didn't watch it.
yeah, it was more of, I mean, that was an Image title way back in the day.
Yeah, maybe they did that when, no, was it? I think it was a Wildstorm title
Mhm.
inside Image, and then Jim Lee sold Wildstorm to DC. Maybe that's when it happened.
Yep. But yeah, I don't remember ever knowing that existed.
Me neither.
But,
And with a lot of these DC animated like TV shows and movies have gotten a lot of people like myself included into the comics, to finding out who these characters are, to find these characters. It's like the one show that really fleshed it out. Like as much as Justice League was a great cartoon, Justice League Unlimited really delve into like some like C-list characters, got us to know, like there was a whole episode about Booster Gold and Skeets. There's episodes about the Elongated Man, episodes about Mr. Terrific. We really got in deep with a lot of these lesser known characters.
Yeah. Definitely
I
JLU.
loved those shows. I still do. And I've tried to rewatch them, and for whatever reason, I've gotten taken out. But those are some of my favorite shows of all time.
My first comic job was doing fan fiction and translating a fan fiction from a dude that has been he had been writing for a while. He had like 30 episodes in his fanfic, and I had to adapt each episode into a comic. And the main theme was there's a Saiyan from the Dragon Ball universe, not Goku, not anyone known, his own Saiyan that landed on Earth in the JLU universe. So I got to draw all those characters fighting with a Saiyan. It was really fun.
So let me ask, while we have that the particular art style, you say DC animated, and there's that particular art style that is it something that's favorable to you guys, or you could do without before it came along?
Oh,
You
dude,
do
I
you like
love
to
it.
see it translated maybe into comics? Do you like that kind of cartoony stuff?
Yeah, I love it.
I do, but recently didn't they just change up the whole DC anime? Like with the new Super Sons movie, it was different animation.
Hmm.
Are they doing that going forth? Right? I think they're changing up their animated style. Like we're not going to see that old style that we're used to growing up.
I mean, they do a thing that I like is that they kind of change a little bit of the animation style in each one of the movies. They started with the Bruce Timm,
Mhm.
kind of set the style moving forward for the animated series. But then with the movies, they kind of branched out, and depending on the art director, uh, the style of the animation, of the design of the characters, kind of changed a little bit, and also the depending on the director or even the producers, I don't know, the I mean the framing of the animation, not the framing per se, but the kind of things that they want to show you and how do they show it. It's changing also because we are basically seeing movies made with people that grew up watching anime, and that's a game changer because anime has a different style, a different approach to battles, to a lot of things that Western animation didn't have before. Now we are seeing an amalgamation of all of that, and I think it shows.
Yeah, and I think that manga style or that anime style really came across, and I think in probably our guest here could probably attest to it. Like in the Titan series, you see kind of like the anime with like the weird eye gestures, and kind of the way they reacted was a bit more anime style to me.
Yeah, you talking about the original Teen Titans, not Teen
Mhm.
Titans Go? Yeah, I love that animation that they had, and with Kyle saying that in the chat and stuff about how the community doesn't like change. With that Super Sons movie, like when it came out with that animation, it was something to get used to because like you're used to certain like looks of the DC characters, but after it gets going, if it's a good story, you can forgive, like you can get used to the art style. But if it's a bad story, chances are you're 9 times out of 10 that art style is you're gonna hate it after a while because like you're used to just a shitty story and then shitty or different artwork and that, so it makes you hate it. But I can get past that. I actually didn't mind the art style in that movie. And then to go back to Teen Titans, it worked for that series, especially with the intro being Japanese opening with the Yumi. I think they're called the Yumi girls or something like that.
Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi.
Yeah.
That's the fucking name.
I can't believe you knew that.
Oh, I know.
Not much he doesn't know, Travis. Not much he doesn't know.
But I actually I
Wait,
really
wait.
like
I
that art
want
style.
I want to address this Chris comment. If you see what was it? The Killing Joke.
Mhm.
In the Killing Joke, where Barbara Gordon,
And there's you.
fucks with the Batman dude. There's as much hentai as you're gonna get for DC cartoons, and I think mm, I didn't like it.
Wasn't there was a few cartoons that were like hentai kind of, well, not hentai I guess, but anime style. I get what he's saying now. Hentai is a whole different thing.
Mhm.
Um but they did do that with a couple. There's a couple of movies like there's a one where it was very anime style, but the story itself sucked. So like that made, it's not because of the artwork on the movie, but it was like they had were driving huge vehicles based on themselves. I forget the movie what it was called, but it was like a Batman
Batman Ninja.
centric Batman Ninja. I think that
Bleh.
was it. Yeah, that was a terrible story. I couldn't get through it.
Visually,
But
it was
I
cool.
didn't mind the art style on it, like
Yeah,
Batman and characters anime style. But at the same time, there's just the story just really sucked.
yeah.
Was that
No,
was
what,
that
what
the one where they were in feudal Japan?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. No, what Chris wants here is he wants to see them fucking, basically. Nothing more, nothing less. He doesn't care about the style. He wants to see Henry Cavill bang Gal Gadot. That's it.
Who doesn't?
With the mustache. Yeah, I'm going through the catalog here, and I've seen most of them. I actually tried starting to watch uh, All Star Superman last night, but for me too, like the quietly art drove a lot of that story too. So I was kind of disappointed that that movie wasn't entirely in that kind of art style.
Dude, imagine how hard it is. I don't have to imagine it. Animating Frank Whiteley style,
Yeah,
it's a pain.
that may be
Forget about
that may be true, but I don't care.
it. That's the thing also. They make great stories. They adapt them in a really good way. Except the Batman fucking Barbara Gordon or Batwoman, Batgirl, uh, which I don't like because they added that content and it was kind of out of place for the story. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be a grumpy old man, but I am.
All right. I mean, Travis, do you still watch it on the regular? Is this like some of your go-to stuff, or do you have to be in the mood for it?
I definitely have to be in the mood for it, but I always like if there is a DC animated movie that came out, like I do want to watch it. There's 9 times out of 10 I'm going to watch it. And I did take a break. Like first animated stuff I did watch, of course, was like Teen Titans, the original, because like that came out when I was like, I think I was 12, and I was watching that, and then of course Batman the animated series, Justice League Unlimited. Then I took a break for a while, and what really brought me back into like the animated movies was Under the Red Hood.
Mm.
And I didn't realize that Batman could get this dark. Like me not reading the comics and that, not realizing that there is some dark shit in Batman. This was the one that really opened my eyes. I was like, holy crap, I'm back in. I'm back in this DC animated train, and I'm going to continue watching all of them now.
Yeah, like even too, I realized there's not a lot of stuff that I did watch all the way through. Like Batman Beyond, I only caught here and there. Batman the animated series, I caught here and there. Um, the Justice League stuff, I kind of blew through though because I enjoyed it so much. You know, because you do kind of get tired of seeing the same three characters from DC, and like you said, when they expanded,
Dude,
yeah,
the one that they did with the an Elseworld, Gods and Monsters, in which basically they tell an Elseworld in which Sod landed on Earth and he is Superman.
mm,
Then I think Hippolyta is Wonder Woman, and then Kirk Lamstrong, the Man Bat, is a vampire and he is Batman.
hmm,
Dude, great movie. great movie. That's
Yeah,
why
I love that movie.
and when James Gunn said this part of the DCEU, DC whatever, now it's called Gods and Monsters. Oh, dude, that was really
And
exciting.
that wasn't like all of what he announced. Like that was just like a minor list. Like there's a lot more to come from that in that phase, Gods and Monsters. So I'm excited to see that and to see that um, great art style for like the cartoon. They just showed a little bit of what's to come with the cartoon because like Weasel's coming back and how they're gonna have the same voice actors come over and do the live action.
Yeah,
I love that too.
that live action Weasel was, for me, it was tough to look at. It was creepy
That's
stuff.
the fucking point.
Yeah.
And Manolo, Eman, yeah, Batman Ninja sucks, but visually it's great. It's great animation, but not a lot of substance there. So
Yeah, it got weird. Like they were just like, you know what, we're just we don't know what we're doing. We're just gonna end it this way. It's gonna be a huge battle in a desert type area with a bunch of vehicles that look like the characters. It's like, okay, let's do it.
Okay. Did you see Gotham by Gaslight?
I did not. I need to watch that one. That's
Have
the
you read-
one I need to watch.
Have you read the story? I think it was a one shot.
yeah, and the Mike Mignola does the art.
Yeah.
I did not read the story either, so I'm gonna have to definitely watch that. DC Mech, I never watched any of that,
Wait,
and
never watched? There's a series or a movie of DC Mech?
I think so. I think I've seen a few things.
Oh wow,
From
I
that.
only knew about the comic. I'm watching the
And
list here, and I saw most of them. And
I never watched that Catwoman one that came out too. It came out in I think 2002 maybe. I never watched that. I just wasn't that interested in it.
2002. I don't know because I have a list here, but it starts in 2007 with Superman Doomsday, which is kind of odd because there are previous movies. Like
Yeah, that is weird.
Well, there was like with some of the DC animated movies, they're kind of connected. They're telling like one cohesive story,
Hmm.
and they're all connected, telling like one story in that. So
yeah, I mean, as I said before, DC gets animation. I think they get animation more than Marvel and more than Disney doing Marvel stuff animated.
What about the new stuff? Like Harley Quinn on HBO.
I
Seen
haven't
that?
seen it, but I have read the comics and I'm partial to Max Aaron, the artist. But I think it's crazy good. I mean, it's out there. And the thing with DC is that they don't care, not anymore, and never in animation. They never cared about continuity.
Hmm.
It's everything is an Elseworld. It's the Omniverse that they released recently. It has always been there for animation. They want to tell a fucking good story, and they forget about continuity. At least in the movies, when you have a series, of course, you have to keep continuity because you have a cohesive story going on. But with movies, we want to tell the death of Superman, and we tell it. And we have a particular style, and this is the director, and they go. They make an excellent Death of Superman movie, and that's it. It worked. There's no need to keep adding to it. Besides the point, they also did the Reign of Superman, but that's besides the point because they did it a lot of years after that. And I think that's a great approach. I know they can do that with live action because with live action you need to basically capture the audience and keep them coming, and it's not the same for animation.
Yeah, and I'm going through the list here. There were some that I preferred the comic to the movie.
Yeah, of course.
Like for me, Dark Knight will always be just printed media. What else? The Killing Joke also was one I couldn't deal with.
Yeah, but when they did the Killing Joke part, not the first added part, it was good. I mean, I think there's less stakes in animation, and that's why they can maybe risk a little bit more, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
See, I'm wondering, is this the one?
See, that was I think that was part of the movies that were like they were all connected. Because
Yeah,
even like I'm trying to think of like the ones that were in order. There's like a list of them. I know.
yeah. There's a thing called the Tomorrowverse in the DC animated universe, or it's another part of the DC animated universe, and those apparently would be in the same universe, so they would have a little bit of continuity attached to them. And that's the the branch of animation in which they adapted Birthright, Superman Birthright, Batman: The Long Halloween, and Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Emerald Twilight, and now Zero Hour, Crisis in Time, and the Rantanagar War.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of them in between that are standalone movies.
Okay, it was Apocalypse War that I was thinking about, but it all started with this is the DC animated movie universe. It started with Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox.
Yes.
Then it moved to Justice League War. Then it moved to Son of Batman, Justice League Throne of Atlantis. Then Batman versus Robin, Batman Bad Blood, Justice League versus the Teen Titans, Justice League Dark, Teen Titans: The Judas Contract, Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay, The Death of Superman, Reign of the Supermen, Batman Hush, Wonder Woman Bloodlines, and Justice League Dark Apocalypse.
Dude, but if you want to watch one of those movies out of context, you can, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
the way to go. Because my wife was trying to start watching Wakanda Forever, and she didn't know, or by mistake she put Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness without seeing Doctor Strange. And there's a lot of things going on there that if you don't watch a lot of movies before that one, you don't get it. And DC gets how to do animation, how to tell the story in a way, because they're basically going out with the premise that this could be anyone's first DC animated movie. So we need to make it clear and introduce everyone. I mean, and they also know that everyone knows who the fuck Superman is. So if they're gonna play with the trope, with the character, they need to make it really clear that this is not the Superman you know. This is the Superman that landed in Russia.
Mhm.
Now he's the Red Sun. They get it, dude. They get it. I hope James Gunn gets it too.
All right, so I guess we can't have a DC show without discussing everything that exploded this week.
Hmm.
Um, what's your favorite part of that? What do you think is missing from that? What are your hopes or possible disappointments that you may have?
I wish for good standalone movies,
Mhm.
Re- regardless of the whole universe they're planning and the 8 to 10 year blah blah plan. I don't care. I want good standalone movies. I don't care if Ezra Miller comes back, or I don't care about anything. I just want. I'm Excited about the name Gods and Monsters. Just that detail gives me hope. I don't know why. The Authority,
Mm.
dude, that's a ballsy move. Aiming to do The Authority is kind of crazy, but I kind of know why they're taking the "we're not Marvel" approach. This is serious shit, and people are gonna get killed in brutal and violent ways.
Oh, all right. So that's my concern, especially with that. I was really psyched about the Authority, but you hear The Rock going, "Well, it's Black Adam's gonna be the most brutal DC movie we ever made," and I watch and I'm like, really, really. But the Authority has got to be like the boys level kind of violent.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna go that route.
I mean, it's James Gunn. Didn't he blew up a character's head in the opening sequence of Suicide Squad? And he showed it to you. The dude is swimming and he goes out of range and his fucking head blows up, and he showed it to
Well,
you.
just before that, he took what's his name and blew his head up. That was playing Blackguard. What's his name?
I don't know.
The comedian dude.
Pete
He's
Davidson, yeah.
Pete Davidson. Yeah.
There you go.
But do you think in their whole new DCU that R-rated movies fit in?
It doesn't have to be R-rated. It doesn't have to be R-rated. PG-13. You don't have to show all the gore and the blood, but you need to show the violence, the brutality, the because I think the Authority, in particular, has a very strong standpoint regarding its own name and the world it revolves in. The Authority, they are assholes. They are basically superpowered fascist, in a certain way, because we are the Authority. We set the rules here in a certain way, and they are extremely powerful. And I'm hoping to see what he does with that.
Yeah, I think the Authority has to be like Chris said, it's got to be rated R.
I'm okay with rated R, but if it's not, at least a PG-13 or 16. I don't know if there's a such thing as PG-16.
Did they say it was going to be a movie or a TV show? I forget.
I think it's a movie.
Movie. They could do it as a movie and make it at least like maybe 18.
Yeah.
Or R. Because with the success of Logan, with the success of Deadpool, they know they can do this and then still have projects for kids. Like he did mention in that little video that he did that Teen Titans Go. He mentioned Teen Titans Go and said that was like something else worlds. So there is stuff for kids, and he can still do that standalone thing, stuff like Iggy wants. So you can have the Batman its own standalone, the Joker its own standalone. They could still create stuff that's going to be the own standalone in an Elseworlds type of story.
Yeah.
And still have it connect. And then with Swamp Thing too, they said Swamp Thing, even in the comics, is his own little piece. He's still in the DCU, but it's like this. The world's big, so they have him in this one corner of the DCU and have him kind of standing alone, but with the potential of branching off into something with like Constantine or
Yes.
so.
No, good movies are going to save the DCEU, and I don't think it needs saving. It's what it is. I don't know. There's good, there's bad. I think it happens in every franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm psyched about the plan as a whole. I mean, I don't get Creature Commandos to start all off, but that's whatever for me.
But it sets its own. This is going to be weird
Yeah.
because I can do weird, and I can make it work. Guardians, Suicide Squad.
So if you're gonna start it with those semi-obscure characters, start it with Justice League Dark.
But it's too big of a.
Or do you lead up? Do you build into that?
I think
it
you
is-
build into
yeah.
that because like you can like, and who's to say some of these characters like the things the projects that got released and like these are going to be the characters you're going to see. Who's to know that? Who's to say that like these characters aren't going to have like minor characters show up? Like with Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, that has taken place in space prior to her coming to Earth, so they can pull their own spin on that, and she could run into Lobo out in space and that like just and introduce that character.
That would be like
Yes.
yeah. Needless to say that I am super psyched about that one, but there's also that little fear that they might mess that story up.
They can miss anything.
And to say this too, like James Gunn isn't the one who's like he's overseeing things. He's trying to get things set up and that, and he's not going to be writing everything. He's not going to be directing everything. So he's going to gather a team of people that he trusts, that he knows can do the job. And I feel like he's going to get a lot of the comic writers that have their say in some of the stories. Like
I hope.
and who knows, some of them might be working on the projects because we had Jeff Johns a while ago, like being like overseeing some of like the CW shows and being very like hands-on, especially with Stargirl. And we all know how that show turned out. Freaking fantastic.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, when that whole thing came out, I was like, I'm not really. I don't want to see what they did with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I'm kind of psyched about Damian. I'm a little less psyched about Lanterns. I don't know why they're gonna.
Because I think the key thing here is what he said, how he pitched it. Of course he is, Kyle. That's why they hire him, because they want to get his friends on board, basically. And I want to see what they did, because he pitched it like True Detective in space, and that's gonna get really weird really fast. And they have rings of power, not rings of power, but you get my drift. I think it can be cool because if it's True Detective in space, it doesn't matter if they have rings with super powered green light. It's about the story and how creepy and twisted it is.
Oh, I think he said that show is actually going to be on Earth.
Did he? I don't.
I think that's what he said. Oh, don't quote
I
me.
think he said Precinct Earth, but I think it's Precinct Milky Way or Sector 2, whatever. I don't remember. Sector.
2814.
Okay.
Shout out to Paul. Booster Gold, I'm looking forward to because I kind of see that in the same vein as Peacemaker, and I think if it's done like that, it's going to be hilarious.
What time area do you think he'll land in? Will he try to be part of the Justice League or the Justice Society? Because we know James Gunn has a huge love for the Justice Society.
Yeah, I don't see him in earlier times. I see him more as a modern guy, but maybe dashing back there to see them.
Yeah, I think he's going to go Legion of Superheroes as a start, and then he will go way back to the JSA, and then he will end up with the JLA, because I don't know. I kind of think he's going to play with the trope that currently no one cares if you are a cheater in social media. So he's going to find his niche here in our time.
Now, a question, because CJ just brought up Supergirl and that, and they wanted to find somebody hot. Do you think that they're going to take the actors from the Flash movie and make her the Supergirl in that reality for that movie?
That's a good point. because they want somebody to be there for any medium, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
we're gonna start seeing a bunch of new faces, up and comers, in the movie industry show up in these DC live action movies. I think because you cannot. I think it's gonna be really expensive to try to get, like, for example, Henry Cavill to do Superman and Superman's voice in animation and for the video games. It's gonna be too expensive, and the what's the expression when diminishing returns.
Mhm.
I think that's why they don't want The Rock, they don't want Henry Cavill. They want a new slate of superheroes or actors playing pretend superheroes, so they can basically do the Marvel thing. You are a Marvel property. It's in certain way I understand why Tarantino says this. Is that these actors are not movie stars. The characters they play are the stars, and I
Now,
think that's what DC needs or wants.
is Gal Gadot done? I don't remember hearing that she's done. I just remember that the third Wonder Woman's movie is done, so she could be coming back for that movie they announced for Wonder Woman. It was
Yeah,
more of the Themyscira.
I heard that's a possibility also. Yeah. Well, we're sure that this guy's coming back as somebody. Momoa, he'll be back as somebody who knows.
I mean, Aquaman 2 is part of the new roster, right? Bye bye.
Well, he hasn't mentioned anything yet. He's been coy about it so far. Not
Yeah,
too explicit.
but James Gunn said Flash will reset the DC universe, but then we have Aquaman 2.
Yeah, that's what didn't make sense. Like it came out after it's coming after the Flash. It should come before the Flash if it's gonna re. So that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it sounded kind of weird, but who knows? He might be lying for all we know.
He could be the werewolf.
Exactly.
Hashtag Wilding Box.
Oh yes.
Um,
Tiny wiener.
what else was I going to say?
You know what excites you most, guys?
I'm excited, so excited for Swamp Thing.
Yeah, and I hear that James Mangold may be directing that one, which would be good. I mean, I just watched Logan again, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
So there's your potential of being like a very darker movie, and that, and very getting in depth with Swamp Thing, because it really got, like, Logan really got in depth with the character as a whole, and that, and really explored him, and
the identity of either both Logan and Professor Xavier. Their identity is broken by that point, and for something you need to portray broken identity. In my opinion.
And then with that, you can introduce the green, which is like all green life on Earth, and we don't know if, like, they'll introduce the rot or the red, which would be potential introduction of Animal Man.
That's
Just gonna
right.
throw that out there, but because you can't have one without the other, so I'm excited to see how far they go with expanding that little world. Because, like, Swamp Thing, like I said, is his own little world of the DCU. World's big. This is one corner, and he sometimes branches out. And Justice League Dark was introduced in Swamp Thing, so this could be the start of this Justice League Dark as well. But they're going to define this character and kind of give him his own role before they expand it.
Yeah, I think if in the next wave of announcements, if they announce Animal Man, you're going to lose your shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be gone.
Yeah, they mentioned something about Paradise Lost, and that I thought originally was a JLA series with what's his face? It was some angel, Azrael, I think.
I
But
don't know.
yeah, this has got to do with Themyscira. This guy's going back to the hentai again. Yeah, I want it to be good. I don't care what they put out because I'm going to go see it. I just want to have other options. I think The Authority was a great choice. I think, of course, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow was a great choice. Just to see stuff that we've never seen before, or new takes on old stuff. The whole thing with Damien's I think is going to be great too. But
And call it Brave and the Bold. Like Brave and the Bold always had secondary characters, so this is
Yeah.
another way that they could probably introduce like side characters, introduce this character here or there, and widen out the whole DCU a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think, and it might sound stupid what I'm going to say, but they need to keep it simple. Don't try to overreach and make the 8 years a single story or what. No, dude. Please keep it simple. Tell us a standalone, simple movie with a superhero team up if needed, but make it start and be a thing on its own, and then either of those characters can branch out and have their own spin-off or series, or because Justice League Dark as a series, as a Monster of the Week series would be awesome, for example. But
Yeah.
who knows what they're going to do.
But too, as they introduce new characters, you can kind of see what the future may hold for them. You know, like if you have Green Lantern, you gotta have Green Arrow. You know, that little buddy between Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and the Flash. I kind of want to see also that dynamic.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna take time. Like I know DJ says like not characters every 5 minutes, but we don't realize that we're going to get so many characters that some we've heard of, some that we haven't in some of these movies. Like you said, Green Lanterns, you're gonna have two Green Lanterns right away, but it's gonna be based on the Lantern Corps. So you're gonna have the Guardians, you're gonna have some of the other Green Lanterns like Kilowog, and I'm not too familiar with a lot of the Green Lanterns, but you're going to have to introduce some of them. With Brave and the Bold, with Damian Wayne, you're going to have to introduce or even mention Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, because how was Damian created?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the other Robins, if they exist, they have to be at least mentioned. You aren't the first Robin.
And especially Jason Todd, because Jason Todd was brought back to life by Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
So Damian Wayne probably be told that because Ra's al Ghul and Damian were close. Like they were close as like family.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah, they don't have an easy task at hand. That's for sure.
Not at all. Not at all. But
Especially because we are in a day and age in which people are getting tired of these movies. Yeah.
But also, I wouldn't mind, introducing all the characters and then having something like Identity Crisis as a standalone movie,
Yeah.
or even a TV show.
Or maybe even, I don't know, Emerald Twilight. Is that the one in which Hal Jordan goes crazy and
Goes to
starts
paralyze?
stealing the core? Yeah.
Oh, that was another great animated movie that just recently came out
Yeah.
too. Was the Green Lantern movie?
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment out.
I'm so happy, guys. It's a new era for me.
Looking good, sounding good, feeling good. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Operating system is a little shaky without the registry key, but hey,
Yeah.
we're here now. That's all right.
Yeah.
See, what had happened was, and then we can maybe see that, and then Chaos and Comics will get what he wants also.
Well, it didn't go exactly that way. It wasn't. He was. Batman was drugged, and then his blood was taken to create Damian.
Yeah,
So-
basically, what they're telling you is that Batman got raped. Basically, because why would you take his blood if you have him there drugged? Talia, hop on.
Yeah.
bang him until you get pregnant. And there you go.
This is another reason why, like, I feel like DC is definitely going to take it to the next level, because, like, even with the Killing Joke and like stories that have happened in DC continuity, have been pretty freaking dark. And even with the animated movies, they brought that to the screen as well, showing you how dark they can actually be. So I think a lot of these will at least be 14, but maybe 18 with the authority. They can still make it dark and not show the gruesomeness. They can just like
Yeah, and I think they have DC as an animation studio, and as mostly as an animation studio, has come a long way, because in the beginning, I remember there's a story about an episode they had to can because they couldn't, or did they do it? It's based on a Kelly Jones comic in which it's Batman versus Dracula. It ends up being. What the fuck are you laughing at?
This fucking chat.
Yeah.
It's going off the rails.
Okay, I need to
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I kind of hope not, since I got rid of all those comics, but could possibly. All right, so I have to ask, favorite DC animated moment?
the Batman the Animated Series intro forever. That song, that intro, that dude, it gives me goosebumps still.
Yeah, Travis, how about you?
I'd have to go with an intro as well. I was a sucker. Like, it was one of my favorite shows growing up, and it still is. That's why I'm so angry at Teen Titans Go. And they're all voiced by the same characters, but like, I want Teen Titans back, the darker Teen Titans. Even though it wasn't that dark, I went back and rewatched it. There's only
When
one
there's
episode that was
trouble,
really dark.
you know who to call.
Teen Titans. That intro gives me goosebumps. Like, I love hearing it.
Yeah, and it's weird how it all just ties into music, I guess. Like for me,
Yeah.
and I love Teen Titans Go. For me, it was like my son growing up that was introduced, so I watched that from the beginning. And was it burritos versus burgers?
Yeah.
So that song I love, and there was an episode. I can't remember if it was Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, where Batman has to sing in order to break the spell. Like there's a couple of other heroes. I think Wonder Woman is turned into a pig or something, and he has to sing to. I can't remember, but yeah, it was a lot of good stuff. And I hope they continue to kick ass, and I hope it translates into live action. So.
Or unless they keep doing awesome animated movies.
Yeah.
Actually, there was one scene that really sticks with me, and it happened. It was the show was mentioned earlier, and I still need to get caught up on it. Young Justice.
Young Justice was and had a great comeback.
It had a great comeback.
Yeah, I didn't like the last couple seasons.
No, I haven't really watched them, but like the one that gave me a tear was like when Wally West like sacrificed himself, and I think it was the end of season 2.
That's when they killed the show, basically. I think that's
pretty much, yeah.
that's
And
right.
well, the reason why it didn't go further was because with animations, a lot of the how they stay on the air is due to toy sales, and toy sales were not even there for Young Justice. And even with season 2, like season 1 was fantastic, but how they opened up season 2 and how they brought in, and like Calder was now working with his father, Black Manta, and how it was all like a ruse. Some people were in on it, some people weren't, and like how it was like this total flip of the switch. Like you as a viewer didn't even know what was happening, and then the reveal at the end that everybody was working together and doing this ruse to stay underneath the Injustice Society was just fantastic, and that was a fantastic reveal and well done writing on their part.
Yeah, I think that the main thing that went against them is that there wasn't streaming services back then when they started. Because if this kind of series nowadays in a streaming service, it finds their audience faster. You know, I think it's my opinion. Again,
Yeah, I would actually love this. I would like to see animated or live action.
yeah, I think some things work best as animation, and in this case, I think these massive events work best as animation.
Buns, pickles, ketchup, cheese. Put the patties in between. That's burger. What? That's burger. I liked it. I don't know.
I mean, music, man, that's a key.
Um. All right. Any other final words we want? Final thought?
Yeah, but it's not regarding animation or DC. Want
Okay.
to open up about an anniversary. Today marks the year anniversary of the Breakneck Fantasy Anthology opening on Kickstarter. And as much as I'm proud of that project, we're experiencing a problem with the editor and holder of the comics, which are printed, by the way, and he hasn't shipped them yet. So we're basically, I'm talking with the other creators in the book, and we're basically starting a movement to bring those books to the hands of the backers. And I know Travis is part of those backers, and I've seen he has posted on the Kickstarter comments. And tomorrow we're gonna have our first official communication with the backers on Kickstarter. So this is just an announcement here for us. We've been in talks with the other creators, the ones that want to get involved, and we're basically going to make a push. First, a soft push for basically him to fix the situation in a polite way, and if that doesn't work, we're gonna go hard. So we're gonna do our best, and we're gonna give it our all to bring those books home.
Hopefully.
It's like I haven't been in that, like seen some of the comments and that, like people are like, has there been any updates in that? Like he gives updates and stuff, and then nothing has been done, and it's frustrating for all of the backers, including
Yeah,
myself. Like I want to actually have like like you did the artwork in one story in there, and I want to have it in my hands. Eventually, when I meet you, get you to sign it. But it's upsetting for a lot of us, and I know it's not your fault. It's definitely not your fault in that, and so
No, but I'm partially responsible for a part of it. I'm partially responsible, so I'm going to do everything in my power to exhaust my every possibility of making it happen. That involves being kind of aggressive on social media, but he brought it on to him.
Yep. There we go. DJ as well.
Besides that, the books are there. The books are printed. They need to be shipped. That's it. And it's stupid that we don't have them.
Yeah,
It's, I don't understand. And
Yeah,
that's why
how long has it been? Like it's been quite a while.
the last communication was October 25th of last year.
yeah. The last communication with me was December 23rd. And before that, I got probably one excuse written message a month with any luck. And I have been having to contact one of his friends to get that message sent to me. So it hasn't been easy, but we're gonna make it happen. The books are there, and there are possibilities to get someone to basically retrieve them and send them. We will be covering the cost, or I don't know, but we're on the move. We have let enough time pass. We have given more than enough chances to this person to get their shit together. And since it hasn't happened yet, we're going to take matters in our own hands as much as we can from way halfway around the world. Because that's the main thing. No one is near him. There's people in Europe. There's people in Argentina. I think there's one dude in the U.S. or two, and one of them doesn't even care anymore. And I understand, man. I understand. People, life moves on, but my name is attached to this as an associate editor, and I don't want this dude to basically soil and shit all over my reputation because I have been working on building that reputation for almost a decade in the comic world, maybe two if you count since when I started. So I'm gonna fuck him up if I need to.
And you're part of like the wider Kickstarter like community. Like there's a community of Kickstarters that are all connected and
Yeah.
friends. Like I know that, and you work on quite a few projects on Kickstarter, so you definitely don't want to be tarnished on that because your name's attached to this, and then people will see your name's attached to something else. So like, just so everybody knows, it's not Iggy's fault, and Iggy has
Yeah.
no issues to that book. If you guys are backers of that current comic,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you don't want your name attached to chopping somebody with a machete either. So
no,
let's hope
no.
it gets resolved quickly.
It's a very expensive kill, that one. I have to travel to Canada. I wouldn't do that. Who knows? But there's things on the works. There's messages about to be posted probably tomorrow. Uh, and if need to, I have a platform here, and I have been offered multiple YouTube channels and platforms and community Discord servers in which I can basically explain uh, and basically clean everyone's name because since things are not clear, people don't know who's to blame, who's responsible. So I need to clear not only my name, but the names of everyone involved in this project. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people working or that have worked with me, and I'm glad they all have my back now.
Let's hope not, Ninja Snipes.
Basically, yeah, the books are being held hostage. Basically, yeah,
I think
that's
he's
a
too busy fighting with Greta to worry about some Kickstarter right now.
yeah. Well, you can
Where
basically
are the books being held? CJ needs clarification. Damn it!
well, the books are being held in Canada. The editor, the main editor of the book, basically print them and has them. I think since I don't know September. It's ridiculous. I mean, if I gave you a step by step, a bit by bit of everything that happened, you wouldn't believe me because it's just stupid. It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous situation that shouldn't be. We shouldn't even be need to be talking about it.
So essentially, blame Canada, and it's just so coincidental
yeah.
Oh no.
that we have the hardest working man on YouTube here, and he's Canadian also.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
So
How about
expect
you?
an update.
You guys had a pretty big show the other day with Trish. So that everybody had fun.
Yeah, it was fantastic having her on the show. On the lighter side, like Canada is kind of good. But Trish Forstner, always great. I've known her for a couple of years now. I first got in contact with her back when issue 2 of Stray Dogs dropped. So it was early on before she made it big, and now she's everywhere. And she just dropped she has a new exclusive coming out with Bird City Comics with the Ice Cream Man. Old classic type of look. It looks pretty freaking fantastic. Then Roscoe's Late Night Addiction was on Tuesday, which is just a great community hangout. We talked a lot about the James Gunn news. We had a few people like Nawman, Bat Knight, Smiley Tory came on. And we just talked about all of the James Gunn news and stuff, and we watched the clip, and it was just a fun old time. And then
Oh, he's frozen. Such like Canada, he's frozen. All right, so while we're waiting here, I don't think I have everything going up. Do I? No. I'm going to be maybe starting a series about what I'm sending off to CGC, and I have a couple of crack press and resubmits going on.
That could be a good opportunity to make some editing.
Yeah, we'll see. Travis, you
Am I
cut
back?
up and you cut up in the middle.
You're back.
I don't know what happened there.
You said, and then, and you froze.
Right. So you're talking about between
Is
the
he frozen
lines.
again? Are you frozen again? Yeah, he's frozen again. No,
No,
he's
he's
not.
moving.
He moved his eyes.
Okay, I'm back. I don't know what's going on here. At least it happened at the end.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't worry. People are used to seeing this show and having technical difficulties with me.
But yeah, that's about it. Anybody else? Final thoughts? Final wishes? Anything else left to be said?
I just hope we keep getting cool DC animated movies.
I agree. Let it branch. Let it touch live action a little bit too.
Oh, of course.
Well, like they said, we had that Creatures of the Commandos, or what's it called?
Creature Commandos, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be good. And we never touched on the Waller series that's coming out. That's
That's
with
gonna be
Viola Davis being like the only actress to like. She's been there since what, the Justice League, hasn't she? Playing Amanda Waller.
Yeah, she's always been Amanda Waller. And I
She's
think
really-
they have a great opportunity to play with the
Speaking of
super
technical
spy trope.
difficulties,
Hey, Roscoe.
County Comics was up. Yeah, like a lot of stuff, a bright future for DC. I mean, being the older of the three major ones, I mean, you would expect a little bit better out of them. Hopefully, we'll be getting it. So, we'll see. We'll see. Wow, you're dating yourself there, CJ. Monchichis.
Wait, were those the little monkeys?
The
that
little
live in
monkeys, yeah.
trees?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
All right, that's about it, guys. We'll catch you next week. Yeah, thanks to our special guests. Our
Thanks,
main
Travis.
man, no pun intended.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks you guys for inviting me.
No, wait. Let's finish the show with a question in the Travis way, the Travis
Oh.
Marelli way. Would you rather lose all the DC animated movies but have the same live action DC universe we have today, or lose the DC live action that we have today and keep the animated movies as they are and keep having movies?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because everybody loves the whole Snyder cut Justice League movie.
Yeah, I know, but like, we would also lose Batman '89, for example, and the Adam West series, of course.
So lose the animated or lose the live action is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
So do we get future live action will also be out of the question?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, that's tough because there was a lot. I looked at the list of the animated movies and there's a ton. I never realized how many I've actually watched. And there's a ton, and there's tons that I haven't watched. But with that lineup and potential of great live action movies or TV shows to come from DC, yeah, that's really tough. And there's more animated movies coming. There's Justice League War World coming as well.
Yeah.
And as much as I love the animated, without the live action, we do not have Remy versus Lynx in the Whack Comics 24-hour live stream.
Maybe in this universe, they did every live action movie. They did an animated version.
Yeah. I guess animated's got to go away.
I choose animation.
I have to choose animation too, because like I love the Swamp Thing show, and I'm pumped for the Swamp Thing movie.
All right. Let's hope live action makes us proud then.
Then
That was
let's
a tough
hope.
one. Tough
Yeah.
one.
Also, maybe when the Green Lantern show comes up, we can maybe start thinking about talking about space racism. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. I almost forgot about it. Always out there though.
Yeah.
2023. Year of the Space White Hoods.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Travis.
Yeah, thank you, Travis.
Thank
See you guys later.
Fuck, you guys
Bye-bye.
already saw it? Let me see it. Oh shit! Oh, y'all see that?
So, Tyler, do you want to build a snowman to blow away all night? It doesn't have to be a snowman. It can be me.
I'll be clipping that too.